Hello, everyone. Want to make one more video for today before I call it a night. And this one is about World War III, what we're looking at in June of 2024. What's going on in the world? Biblically, we've been going over that, and what's going on in the world militarily, geopolitics, what is likely in the future, some of the things possible. We only God knows, but we like to go over it, um, see what we can see what the Bible speaks of in some of these videos. Right now, I just want to go over the raw details, what's going on, how close we are, to keep us in perspective. Things can jump off at any moment now. So, World War III, 2024. So we're looking at, we all know, Ukraine. And Ukraine is very, um, it's a place that can trigger World War III easily because, in my opinion, United States, Western countries has neglected to give the Russians a buffer zone. China has a buffer zone with North Korea. We'll talk about North Korea and South Korea in a minute. But just like the United States, if Russia moved into Mexico, would we have a problem with that? The thing is, if you don't look through the eyes of the other person or the other country, we're the big guy, we can do what we want. You're going to end up in a fight, and it's unnecessary. That's what I want to point out. So yeah, here we go. We got Ukraine. We didn't give them their buffer. Now we got a war. People are dying. Could have been avoided. We could have let Russia beat Russia and deal with that area. That they didn't have to surrender their sovereignty, which the Russia guaranteed, but we didn't have to encroach on them to the point where Russia feel pressure. I mean, all these NATO countries started closing in on them, and they don't see us as the good guys. Okay, so Russia has been invaded by Napoleon. Russia was invaded by Hitler, Germany. So, what do you think they would think as we encroached on them? That we're this awesome, good coalition that mean them no harm. So that's what we have now. Again, the ongoing conflict in Ukraine raises fears that unchecked Russian aggression, as the West like to say it, could escalate into broader NATO involvement, potentially igniting a wider conflict. I want to point out now, as they say, a Russian aggression, the pipeline going from Russia to Germany was blown up. And the corporate media pushed the lie, whether it's Fox News or CNN, they all pushed the narrative that Russia blew up its own pipeline. Right. Things like that, you have to understand that propaganda is pushed by both sides, and both sides are lying, and it hindered Germany, and it hindered Russia more so than the United States, and we broke their connection, so they rely more on us, and they're part of the nation, they're part of NATO, than we on them. Then we move on to the Middle East, and since October the 7th, 2023, I believe, that raid, that invasion, that murder and slaughter of the innocent Jews on the border cities. Whatever the controversy is, why they should have known, could have known, what happened, what was the breakdown of intelligence that come out or not, but it's on. The fight is on, and it's drawing in the United States. We're off in the midst. We're off the coast of Israel, Egypt. We're down coming through the Suez. We're down in the Persian Gulf. We're dealing with Iran, Hezbollah. Those are powder kegs waiting to go off, as you all know. So just want to touch bases on some of this. Going back to January, had January 2nd in Lebanon, Israeli airstrike. So it's a back and forth with Israel and Lebanon. Lebanon is a failed state. Hezbollah is pretty much in power. Iran fighting its own insurgency, fighting its own terrorists, ISIS in Iran. That's when you have these two Islamic factions going at each other's throat. So that can set off an internal conflict that can spill over. And you have U.S. and U.K. warships intercept the Houthi fired missiles and drones. That's January 9th. So you got that going on. They're firing missiles at any ship they believe is connected with the Israelis, Americans. Going back to January 12th in Yemen, the United States and the UK took out over 60 military targets, as we were told. So this is a shooting war. It's by proxy with the Iranians, but this is a shooting war. Israel is is invading and occupying justifiedly the Gaza Strip, and now we, as a coalition, protecting the oil tankers, protecting the world economy, lighting up the Houthis, and they're lighting us up back. So this is a shooting war. This is nothing to be played with. And we go down to January 15th, Iraq and Syria. The IRGC carries out missiles and drone strikes against Erbil in Iraq and Idlib in Syria. So it's shooting and back and forth between these little factions that's over there. So it's not just the United States, but some forces that we protect and that we encourage, and vice versa. You got Russia over there, you got Iran there, you got Syria, and the different groups. January 8th, Syria, Jordanian warplanes target several smugglers' residents in the Dara province, killing 10 civilians. So you got the Jordanians attacking in Syria. You have the Syrian government doesn't control a good deal of its territory. The United States over there protecting the Kurds and the oil fields in that area, still to this day, I believe. So again, airstrikes, Jordan, drone attacks. Back in January to kill those 3 U.S. soldiers. We retaliated. They retaliated back. So it's a lot of going on. So we got that in the Middle East. A little bit more, a little different perspective. Lebanon, cross-border strike, Syria and Iraq. Iran says it struck Israeli spy bases in northern Iraq, as well as ISIL targets in Syria, whatever that means. Israel has also continued to strike Iranian-linked targets in Syria. Pakistan launches retaliatory airstrikes on armed groups in Iran. Iran carries out strikes in Pakistan, targeting the armed group Jaish al-Adl. So you got back and forth, not between the governments, but between the governments attacking the terrorists across the border. So there's tension there. Things could escalate. Problems could arise. It's something to watch. Again, U.S. and UK and Yemen and the Houthis. So again, there's a lot going on. Things could get out of hand. We could get drawn into a land war, and you never know what could escalate, what things could escalate to. All right, then we moving on to China and Taiwan. If we didn't have enough problems, possible scenarios. Could be this year, next year, but you're looking at between 2024 and 2027, possible war with China and America, and I'll do another video later. America is at an all-time, I believe it's 140%, 130, 140% of our GDP. We are so much in debt, it's like $100,000 per person. And when you're at that kind of debt, and American people are at the point where they realize they can vote someone in to give them free money, which is nothing free, they are paying for it. And if they don't think they're paying for it, you'll see it at the grocery store as inflation goes up. And you got the socialists and the Marxists saying the billionaires can pay it. We'll get it from the billionaires. Well, the socialists, Bernie and AOC, are millionaires. So they're not going to lose their money, but they're going to give you a false narrative to go after to get your vote, to get the power to enslave you with it, because you want the free cash. Stay at home, we send you a check. That sort of mentality that's ruining, if not ruin, America. Again, the increasing military posturing between China and the U.S. over Taiwan sovereignty poses a significant risk. Any miscalculation, jets flying to each other, boats. Recently, China is going on the offensive with the Philippines, attacking boats, attacking the Philippine Coast Guard. So we could see an escalation in any theater at any moment that American lives will be put at risk, because we just recently signed a treaty with the Philippines. So we got Australia we were protecting, somewhat protecting the Taiwanese, nothing in paper, but in Biden has vowed more than 2 or 3 times. We're protecting the Japanese. We're protecting the South Koreans. So we're stretched thin and we're broke. Things are not looking good. Again, this goes to show in this period between 2024, 27, 28, it's going to be the most crucial time for United States and China. China wants to claim it's a slap in the face that they have not reunited Taiwan to the mainland. They got Hong Kong. Now they want Taiwan by any means necessary. So again, the tensions are high. It's something to look out for us Christians. It's something to pray about. Americans overall are not ready for an all-out war with China. Will we attack their bases on their homeland, or will it just be a sea? If they're shooting missiles from China at aircraft carriers, we will be shooting missiles and dropping bombs in China on Chinese soil. I don't see any way around it. If we are shooting missiles and dropping bombs in China, there is no off base when it comes to America. If we are at war, a shooting war with China, and we defend ourselves against those missiles by eliminating those missile launchers, what will happen if China moves an aircraft carrier or something up on the shores of from New York to Florida or California to Washington? So the idea that we are super safe is out of the question in my view. All right, so we come up to this is the last one, and this is a powder keg. South Korea, North Korea. North Korea has the bomb. North Korea has the missile range to reach, I believe, California now, or close to it. So we are vulnerable here. So how far will we push? General MacArthur blew it when he had the chance because he was too aggressive. He went against, he pushed further than he should. He should have backed down, held his ground. We would have North Korea within our grasp now. But because of that, the 100-some thousand volunteers the Chinese came down in a wave and blew them away. So we're at this stage now where South Korea, North Korea is at a standstill, and we are on the verge of war there too. Recently, Putin has visited North Korea. They signed a joint treaty. Don't know all the details, but if they have sort of pledge, if one is attacked, they will defend the other. We'll see how that goes. But that is some of the things we want to look at in this summertime 2024, World War III. We're going to look at economics, what it goes into. It's getting ready for the perfect storm. You don't have the money. You don't have the money in the bank. Americans are broke. We're not saving. The country is not saving. We're spending. We want free money for college. We want everything, and we have all these freedoms and all these rights, but we don't want to have the responsibility. So when you get all that together, we are in for a rude awakening. I appreciate you stopping by. Hope you like and subscribe to the channel, and have a wonderful day. God bless.